sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drinks while eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, dude.
Jazz hands. You got to end that song with jazz hands. That is the only way I believe that you can properly
go out of that
end
song.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be doing jazz hands with a sparkly bow tie and a cummerbund.
Yeah, man.
That's the only way to do it.
That's it.
When we film a video entry or whatever, intro, not entry, intro. When we film that, we're all wearing glitter bow ties and cummerbunds, like we're the show
Van
choir.
Halen show, or not Van Halen, but the David Lee Roth video.
Did he wear that?
Well, he had the glittery
the
gloves on, and
gloves.
he was dancing around like crazy.
Yeah, we'll have glitter gloves too. Yeah. We need glitter gloves. Who doesn't want
not
glitter
necessarily
gloves?
glitter gloves, but they're those fucking
like sequence gloves?
Plastic orbs.
Yeah,
that are like, you know what I'm? Yeah, okay,
sequence.
yeah, that's what I guess.
Plastic orbs.
Plastic orbs.
You describe sequence like a person from the 1400s.
Them plastic orbs.
Except they didn't know what plastic was.
True.
So
no, you're right. They didn't.
That's fairly recent, I assume.
They would look at that. They wouldn't even know what that ashtray is.
They wouldn't. They'd be like, "What is this thing? What is that? What are you doing with that?" We just throw that on the ground.
Yeah.
We don't smoke it, we boof it. Because they boofed back then, I'm sure. They boofed tobacco.
I'm sure they did.
They were just shoving everything up their ass back in
coffee.
the day. Coffee is good up the butt.
Probably like
I've
wheat.
heard of
I
people,
guarantee you somebody got somebody to stuff some wheat up there.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be real dry. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
But it will cure all of your illnesses.
All your illnesses, except for dry wheat ass.
That's the only side
effect. Wheat ass is the biggest side effect of shoving wheat up your ass.
So, you guys are welcome. I fucked up. So that's why this show this week is happening. I thought it was away this week.
We thought Justin was off.
I just don't know how to.
No. So what's going to happen is this week is going to be our final week for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then you're taking a trip, I'm taking a trip, and then we're going to be back towards the end of the month for a solid 6 weeks straight.
So when we get back from that, I'm going to have GTA 5. I'm going to have GTA 5.
Oh.
All modded up so that it looks like as close to LA.
Oh,
at least modern
we
LA.
were talking about this.
Because what I want to do, I want to continue with Gamer Not Gamer.
Yes,
maybe not specifically every week, maybe every 2 weeks, but figure it out. But in between those episodes, what I'm going to do is The song that I'm gonna, because we don't have a musical guest, sorry to break it to you guys, but I'm going to play my favorite song that we've done so far this season.
Oh, I'm kind of excited for that.
And I want to use video game footage and turn it into a video.
Okay, all right.
And that's what I'm also going to do on the channel.
This song specifically.
Well, I'm going to start with this, but I'm going to go through.
But this is the one that kind of you want to. Yeah, you said you want to start off with this one.
Yes, because I've been listening to it a lot while playing, so I want to put some video footage together and turn it into a music video for the channel.
Hell yeah. Well, that'll be an awesome thing to happen. But, hey, this is Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. We've been rambling already for however many fucking minutes. And we're very rude to not introduce ourselves. My name is Kyle Mocha, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Justin Olimpedo.
Oh, hello there.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. We have a question from a Mr. Preston Robertson.
Oh, do we?
He said, what's boofing?
Boofing?
I need an explanation.
Is when you like to put things up your butthole so they affect you more immediately. That's what boofing is. Also what boofing is Mr. Zachary Storman. Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know if we were saving this
one. We were not. We were going to crack right into these, actually. So, Justin,
this is a great image, by the way,
Zach cracking right into things.
Well, I made an album cover for this song.
Oh, yes. As you were recording and editing this song, the featured song for this week, which we will get to a little bit later, and it's going to be epic as
11 minutes, 7 seconds.
We broke records, motherfuckers. We broke records. Now,
or not. Or if you're not into really long
music.
we
broke band records then. But that's going to be coming. But you made some artwork for it as well. I have not seen it, so I'm waiting to see that till the song premieres. But hey, we're here with episode, was it 16 now?
16,000.
Oh my lord. So
that's I think we're breaking another record.
37 overall for us, which is impressive.
I think we're breaking another record.
What is the other record?
That we're actually going to sort of discuss what the title of the episode is.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
What is the title of the
episode? The title of this episode is Mythical
Morning
with a U. M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. Yeah. So just stay tuned, hang tight. You're gonna get to that. Now this week, a lot happens in the world, guys. A lot happens all over the place. But a couple of things that I wanted to discuss right off the bat. Justin, you said you have not seen the trailer yet, but Zach and I, we were discussing it. The new Hellboy.
No, I've
seen it.
You've seen it. You have not seen it. Okay, there we go. I have to say, this trailer dropped, and it is. If the trailer is any indication of what they're doing with the music, and B, the mood of this film, it is going to be epic as all hell. This is going to be a heavy metal action superhero movie.
It really looks great.
So fucking fun. Now, Hellboy
at first
himself,
I wasn't sure on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, once I realized what they were going to do, I was like, cool,
I didn't think that the original two were cartoony in any way. I didn't think that they were comic booky, but it's kind of the way that people that went and saw Batman in '89 probably thought this was a very serious and very dark, and then you watch Batman Begins and you're like, all right, well, Michael Keaton's, they're great. Those two movies are great, but there's a little bit of a cartoonish element to something from back then. So looking back now, 12, 13 years ago to whenever the first Hellboy came out, I would not think...
What's his name from fucking Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, playing Hellboy. Playing Hellboy himself. Yeah, the Hopper from Stranger Things.
Which more anti-heroes that are dickish and R-rated.
And Ron
is it R-rated?
I'm not sure. That's what I was going to say. I'm not sure if this one is R-rated or not.
I'll check.
But Ron Perlman did a great job with the character. He was hilariously funny.
And that's more of an artistic director that you're doing that movie on.
Yeah,
obviously.
It was an art house. It was an art house superhero movie.
Yeah.
It was a very weird thing
which
to
he
happen
reuses
at that
characters
time.
Into other movies too.
True.
So
there are a lot of visual
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth. There's a lot of characters that visually look very similar. There's somebody with the hands that come out of their head type of thing.
Yeah.
And that happens, and
he puts
Benicio del Toro just kind of does reuse he reuses the same.
No, Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo, not Benicio. The other guy, the other del Toro.
Has there ever been a Guillermo del Toro and Benicio del Toro movie together?
I do not think so. Two bulls together? That would be impressive.
That's the name of the movie, Two Bulls. It's about Lamborghinis.
Oh,
it is an R-rated movie.
It is R-rated? Yes. All right, so that's solid. They need to go for that R, I believe, and you're right.
I think they realize that most of the fans are not the kids.
Going for the hard R.
You have Disney getting them into it, but the parents are like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Avengers is fucking great. But
this is a movie
I want to see somebody's head get ripped off or some fucking shit. Yeah, this is a movie
for adults.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. And the thing that I like a lot about it is they're going more into the main villain. I forget exactly who they said she's playing. It's not Queen Mab, but it's somebody like that from Arthurian legends.
Right.
So it's going back to that. And they're saying that the sword that he pulls in the trailer is potentially Excalibur.
Okay.
And that's related to a mid-90s...
It's in the same universe? So Hellboy exists in Excalibur's universe?
Yes. They're saying that in the mid-90s there was a release of Hellboy that either said straight up or implied that Hellboy is somehow related to Arthur himself.
Okay.
So even though he's a spawn of hell, he's related.
Sense.
So he is worthy enough to wield the sword.
Okay.
But either way, when he comes up with it and it's on fucking fire and he's got the full horns, I know they did a sneak image of that in the original movie,
right,
where they kind of show like what the future could hold. But this looks, I hope he just goes all out, like just straight raining hell on Earth to destroy these giant monsters that are just ravaging London in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
it looks fucking brutal.
It looks funny. I mean,
it does.
It definitely looks funny.
The last line in the trailer is he looks at the witch who's basically going like, "Come and join me," and he goes, "I don't think this is gonna work because I'm a Capricorn and you're crazy as fuck." It's the last. It's something I might be paraphrasing a little, but that is the last line, because you're crazy as fuck. Like, it's going to be an adult themed, an adult aimed, and I feel because of that. I think because of that, you're gonna get better music in there, because they know people that grew up in the 80s, the 90s, that are gonna want to watch this movie. Like metal, they're going to remember those songs, and it's going to add a little bit of an element. And the biggest thing in the trailer that really kind of struck me is the use of Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
Very quietly.
Well, they use AC/DC in the trailer as well?
They use AC/DC, I believe, as well.
Something like that.
And they, I mean, Highway to Hell is bound to play it at some point. I'm sure it's in the originals, one or two. But when Smoke on the Water starts playing, you hear the first, like, 2 or 3 notes, and it's until like the 3rd or 4th note where you hear like the actual intervals that are being played, and you realize, oh shit, this is just a really slowed down, dramatic Smoke on the Water, and that's when you get him with the fiery sword and everything. And I gotta say, I forget exactly who's directing this, but Guillermo del Toro did the original 2. Visually, and that man is stunning with everything he does.
Apparently, his nephew has been in this house.
Guillermo del Toro's nephew. Oh, not Benicio del Toro's.
He used to live with him, and he's been here. A kid named Bruno.
A kid named Bruno.
A guy named Bruno, a kid named Bruno. Either way, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bruno came to a party.
Hey, you know what's pretty cool? Guillermo del Toro's nephew being in this house. You know what's really cool?
What?
Guillermo del Toro being in this house. You got connections. You fucking hook us up.
Come on.
Why the hell is Guillermo not? We'll put you on the show for real.
He can shoot a horror film in this house.
We'll put you on for real if you get him. And then we will shoot a horror movie in this house. Yeah. It'll be about the piano.
You know that augmented reality that we were just watching?
Oh, yeah, you're showing me a little clip.
How crazy would it be if that's how they start shooting horror films, when you had that on, and instead of...
Well, dude, VR horror, just the idea of that is terrifying.
But imagine you're just looking at the staircase, like you're watching the TV, watching this movie, but then all of a sudden you see something walking down the fucking staircase.
And it's just something that the movie was able to put into...
Because it's augmented reality. Like, imagine that shit, dude.
But they have to scan your room and kind of like adjust
I'm sure
to
they
like
could
your
do
level,
that,
like
dude.
where the floor is, where a doorway is.
I'm sure they can do that. They already have this house mapped out with the Wi-Fi.
They have to. They have to have everything.
Like, you know that shit's already mapped out.
I think the whole world's mapped out at this point, everywhere. Does that ever kind of baffle you? You're like, oh, I'm gonna just like go on Google and look up this address, and you're like, oh, I can get just a straight picture of the outside of this house, and then you look at yourself, like wherever you live.
A fucking plane flying.
Somebody just ripped it down the street.
That was fucking fast up that hill. Jesus Christus.
Slow down.
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Save a life.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe they had to
Speeding is not fun for other people. It's only fun for you.
How's this beer, by the way?
I have not tried it.
Okay.
Oh, let's jump into that. This beer is Justin's purchase of the evening. It's from Trogs Independent Brewery. Trogs is one of my favorite breweries. They make Mad Elf, which is one of the greatest.
It is a double IPA.
It is a double IPA.
Brewed with
it's called
lemon drop hops.
Golden Thing. Lemon drop hops, handcrafted by the Trogs brothers.
Now,
so,
the graphic on this can is awesome.
I
would get a tattoo of that.
You would get a tattoo of that. Now, this is 8.2%.
What is that supposed to mean?
It says Pilsner, Vienna, wheat are the malts, and it is a house ale.
It is a very easy double IPA to drink. Because of the lemon hop.
And Zach, what that means is it's a very cool design, and you like very cool designs and weird prominent things, so you would get that tattooed on
thanks,
you.
Kyle.
Also, it's weird as fuck and kind of disturbing, so you would get that tattooed on you.
Yeah, definitely try this beer.
All right, so I'm going to give a little taster for myself here.
That's good.
Oh, that's not too heavy.
It's not heavy at all.
No, for a double IPA.
There's nothing that's left over in flavor.
See, for me, when I first started drinking IPAs, I wasn't really a big fan of them, but what I found funny was my favorite one to drink was Torpedo from Sierra Nevada, which is a double IPA.
Yeah.
It is,
but you don't realize that it's an actual double IPA because it's in
a smooth. Well, it doesn't really present itself as anything crazy or intense.
Anytime I hear Sierra Nevada though, I'm like, oh, it's a major company. And I'm like, it's not a major company.
It's really not. It's just they've been around for so long. And now they've probably sold out to somebody, I'm sure, in some parts.
Probably.
But it is...
I do like the Torpedo.
The Torpedo, I honestly almost like that regular than the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
That was probably one of my first IPAs that I remember,
And it's strange for a double IPA, because it is higher up there. It's around the 8%, I believe. And it doesn't have an in-your-face flavor, but it is very prominent on the hops.
I could easily drink 3 of these
I would
and
say
not realize.
This is as close to that as I've come. So if you are in the Pennsylvania area or anywhere that is lucky to get the Trogs,
or take a trip down to Trogs and get some right there
in Harrisburg. You can just go right down to Harrisburg. Hershey. It's not that far. Or Hershey, technically. Yeah, Hershey. Yeah. And you
go down the Hershey Highway. You could have a golden dangalang.
You could have a golden dangalang on the Hershey Highway. It's a lesson.
Y'all coming over for a golden shower later?
Preston brought up a good point.
Yes.
He said that our house isn't mapped out on Wi-Fi.
No?
No, because Zach's farts has cleared the area.
Yes.
No. Yeah, keeping that fog covered.
Hey, I'm going to say,
dude.
My farts probably have contributed a little bit, but in no way nearly as many farts as Zach has. Now, Zach, what I was going to get into, I said that this image would be a good tattoo for you. You got a new tattoo this week.
I did.
You did. Now, for those of you who are listening that don't know us personally, welcome. Who the fuck are you? And Zach has a nice assortment of tattoos. You are, I'll say, a collector of random images when it comes to your arm.
Yeah.
Give a little taste of, before the newest one, what have you had put on by the same artist, actually, right?
Yeah.
By the same artist. What does your arm and other parts of your body consist of tattoo-wise?
Mufasa fighting Jaws.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot footage.
Okay.
Godzilla.
And Godzilla is Laser Godzilla, right?
Atomic Breath.
There you go. Atomic Breath.
Yeah.
All right. So the most recent addition is what?
Lord Zed from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Lord Zed. You have no idea how hard it was for me to remember his name, and I did not, actually. I kept going Lord Zorg, Lord Zed, Zird, Zibbit, Zerpit. Yeah, I couldn't remember it. And I think it's because the bad toy from Toy Story is Zorg, I believe. But then the Fifth Element, the main villain is like Zerd or Zarg or something like that. They're all very... writers are getting lazy and have been getting lazy for the last 25, 30 years.
Multipass, dude.
Now, why did you opt to get him versus any other character from the Power Rangers universe? Was he your favorite character growing up watching the show, or was it just image-wise that's the coolest?
I think he just looks badass, and it fit with the other destructive creatures that I've been collecting.
So is that what that arm is all about, destructive creatures?
Yeah.
Is that like retroactively what it became, or is that what you started off trying to do?
I just I don't really think about it.
Yeah, piece by piece. Now, when you got the Mufasa tattoo, I was reminded of Keith's tattoo because Keith went out one day and was like, I'm going to get a tattoo of sharks with freaking laser beams in their freaking heads.
Oh, yeah.
And he went out and got that, and then he got a whale with like a jetpack and shit like that. And I was like, you're a fucking psychopath.
I mean, the
sitting next to Zach,
it
fits in pretty well. You guys could switch tattoos even.
Yeah.
You could cut his skin off of his arm.
I'll wear your skin, Keith.
And wear it over
You could wear my skin. We'll wear
what is the ultimate
skin.
plan on the arm, though?
Do you have any ultimate plan?
I'm just going to keep filling it in with weird shit. And then the background is going to be Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right, so
Preston also said toxic karate is the only art form that Joe Rogan doesn't know.
Joe Rogan
I'll beat Joe Rogan's ass in toxic karate.
Did he do the keto diet? Because if he did the keto diet, he's got crotch rot and some probably stank ass.
That's a fucking crazy thought.
Yeah. Well, did you hear? Apparently, this is a big thing that people that are on the keto diet are like suffering from a major like crotch rot. They're just like terrible smells coming from their crotch. Oh. It's just a weird
What do you eat
side
on that
effect.
diet?
I have no idea.
It's basically just meat. It's like high in protein, and you just like you basically eat meat, no
The
vegetables.
roast beef curtains
like
smell like
all
roast
the
beef.
fucking chemicals that come from whatever the processing.
Yeah, because I'm sure not everybody's. I mean, when I was 17, I thought it'd be a good idea to go on the Atkins diet, and I went on the Atkins diet. But
4,000 pounds of bacon.
I ate a lot of bacon. But the other thing I ate was just cold cuts. Like I would just like eat. Straight Oscar Mayer prepackaged turkey, ham, salami, anything like that. Yeah. So I'd eat that. And then the sweats just smell 10 times worse. Like your meat sweats are the worst. Yeah, dude. They're bad. I remember going to Radizio's and having the meat sweats really fucking bad. Sad news, Radizio shut down. They closed. They only last about 5 years. That sucks.
Maybe I'll get the curry lamb sweats later.
Oh, you did have some curry lamb.
Curry goat.
Curry goat. You did have curry goat. Well, we touched on Fifth Element, so that's our one time for the episode. I said earlier we need to at least talk about 2 times an episode. Fifth Element has to happen. So with our second, Luke Perry died.
Yeah,
Luke Perry. Which
still don't know who he is.
Zach really doesn't know who he is. He played Dylan, whoever the fuck his face was, on 90210. He was a huge heartthrob. He was about 30 when he was on a show playing a 19-year-old. Yep. He had really sweet sideburns. That's pretty much all I know about him, outside the fact that he is in the opening scene of one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all times, Fifth Element.
Which I forgot about. You had brought up.
Yeah, it's in the opening where the old archaeologist is sitting there working, like dusting away, and the little Egyptian boy's holding the mirrors so the light can shine on them because it's pre-giant, industrial lighting for your archaeological dig. So he's holding a fucking mirror, and the kid drops the mirror, and he's like, Aziz, light! And then fucking Dylan or fucking Luke Perry goes, Aziz, light, and just kind of mocks him, and he's just drawn away, and he's only there for maybe 2 minutes in the whole movie, but it is what I will forever remember him by.
I definitely don't remember that scene in my mind. I can't remember it.
I mean, I remember
the robot aliens show up.
I don't remember the
in.
Luke Perry character. I don't remember that.
It literally could be taken out and it wouldn't affect the movie in any way. It was the fact that they were making it in 1997. It sort of does set
up how the movie's going to be.
The tone of the movie.
Exactly.
The tone of the movie is we're putting a huge
if it was
Hollywood
super
star.
Serious, and then all of a sudden this wacky shit started happening.
And you have to think it's 1997. He's on top of the world in the world of television, not really in movies, but in television. Bruce Willis came from television and now is on top of the world in movies. Yeah. So to put kind of if it was the mid 95. It was 97, I believe, somewhere around there. But it would be if in the mid-2000s you put Ashton Kutcher in that role, Sure. If in nowadays you put one of the kids from, ironically, Riverdale, which Luke Perry was apparently on Riverdale. I didn't realize that show like lasted.
I didn't realize it was as big as it is.
Yeah,
well,
apparently it's huge.
People love it.
Okay, so I wanted to watch it on the concept, but every time I looked at the image,
they looked so douchey.
I was like, I can't. I have nothing relatable to the
all
like,
over my childhood. Those are the only comics I read as a kid. Like, in all honesty, those are the only ones.
Archie comics.
The Archie comics. My dad had them. They would just be left over, or those would be the ones that other like relatives would be like, "Oh, we're getting rid of stuff. We know that you kids can read this without your parents, freaking out on you or something." So I would read the Archie comics.
Jesus approved of the Archie comics?
Jesus approved of the Archie comics because everybody was closeted. And I loved them.
Are they gay in the Archie comics?
Well, there's the whole theory that Jughead and Archie. It's a Kevin Smith-based theory.
Gotcha.
In Chasing Amy, they go really.
I never read those either. I have no idea what the Archie.
I've read some of them.
It was basically Happy Days, the comic strip.
Yeah, it was like real wholesome stuff.
Very wholesome, Goofus and Gallant level shit.
They were on comic strips too, right? Right. I definitely have read a lot of the comic strips. Yeah. But I did get a couple of the comics.
Yeah.
Read through them and was just like, okay.
Like, I'm not saying I had a lot, but I probably had like 10 of them throughout my life that I just read over and over and over again. That just became like, you put it in the bathroom, and when you're taking a long dump at some point, you just read through the same thing over and over and over again. But that was it. But Luke Perry, people used to fucking idolize this guy. And it's crazy to think that was in the 90s. It was only 25 years ago he was on the show, and he died at 52. At 52, which means the duration of that show, the entirety of that show, he was well into his 20s, almost in his 30s, and he wasn't even the oldest person on that fucking show.
Right, which is crazy.
There was that one actress that played one of the girls on the show that was like 30 when the show kicked off, or 32 when the show kicked off. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's sad. It's sad that he's dead. He was a talented guy for whatever he did, but it's news. Right. It's news, and people are talking about it. And last night...
there was another death.
Oh, there was another death. Yeah, you were bringing that up.
The lead singer of Prodigy. I forget his name now.
Yeah, I forget. I never knew his name. But what happened? He
committed suicide. 49 years old,
49 years old. Yeah. Now, were you big on Prodigy ever?
Fuck yeah, dude!
The first album, at least... Well, the first two albums, I fucking loved. And then I just stopped, buying their stuff. But I love those albums.
I mean, Fat of the Land, dude. The album Fat of the Land is a fucking... It was a classic the day it was released, and it'll forever be a classic of fucking dance music.
I think Smack My Bitches was the first video to get banned for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, because I really do not know Prodigy at all. What I mean... You're saying they were dance music. They were.
Well, it's like
new metal techno,
mid-90s, real heavy.
Like you're going to a rave.
Music. Yeah.
Glow sticks.
Real fast.
But
real in your
face. They actually had somebody that would sing. Would
it be any way like Orgy, anything in like that vein, or would people that listen to Orgy listen to that? Was that kind of the same realm
in that era? Probably, but now probably not.
Probably not.
If you're listening to Prodigy, you're not into Orgy. You know what I mean?
But you might be into orgies?
Probably.
Do you think people
I would have
listen
orgies
to Prodigy?
listening to Prodigy.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Formula 51?
Not really.
You never watched that movie with Sam Jackson?
No. Oh, I think you meant racing.
No, the movie Formula 51.
Never saw it.
Okay,
really?
I was gonna say
you just say Meatloaf and Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, you've never watched Formula 51?
Yeah, dude. It's an English movie.
You need to watch that movie. It's
Holy
an amazing...
fuck. When did this come out?
Or mid-2000s?
Mid-2000s? Oh, okay, that makes... Samuel L. Jackson makes a lot of movies.
This is one of his better movies, man.
Okay.
Who else? Is Statham in it? One of those guys is in it.
There's just... In Britain.
That's like something
but it's like that's like that type of person.
Okay.
But basically, Samuel Jackson is a scientist.
Okay.
And he loses his fucking PhD or whatever to teach because he gets pulled over with weed.
Oh, okay.
So, flash forward into the future, he's a scientist, he makes drugs.
Okay.
Goes around to make a fortune around London.
Okay.
And Meatloaf is like some fucking mob boss in London.
Meatloaf has a British accent?
No, he's an American in London.
Meatloaf with the British accent is just fucking, what's his name?
But that movie is
Gleason.
so fucking good, dude.
Not Jackie Gleason. Big dude from Braveheart. He was in Harry Potter.
Well, You're talking about the dude with the fucked up eye?
Yeah, fucked up eye, that guy.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's just Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, okay.
He is pretty much the British-Irish version of Meatloaf. So if Meatloaf had an accent...
Wow.
He didn't have an accent.
So in Formula 51, it was only called that in America. Okay. In the rest of the world, it was called the 51st State.
The 51st State? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he comes from America to Britain.
Well, I mean, he calls it a Formula 51 in the movie. You know what I mean?
So it was just the more stylized name.
But I think a lot of people got confused thinking it was a race, a racing movie.
Yeah, well, that's immediately what I think. Immediately what I think is like Days of Thunder with Samuel L. Jackson and Meatloaf.
Find it and watch it. You'll fucking thank me.
I'll check it out. It out. Now, Justin, this week we do not have a featured artist this week.
Right.
Which, if you're listening and you're in a band or if you're an independent artist, anything along those lines.
Are you some cunt who makes music?
If you're a cunt that makes some fucking music and you like to
like the new band audiences. How good was that crazy shit?
Which one? What?
I mean, that's
Passenger of Shit.
Oh my god.
Fucking intense.
Now, are they from Australia?
They're from Australia.
That shit is torture rock. That is torture rock.
It's a DJ that fucking...
Passenger
what is it called? Breakcore is the genre.
And what was the name of the song that you sent me?
Staple Tapeworms to My Penis.
Staple Tapeworms to My Penis.
So, the way I described it
I thought my phone was broken.
It was like if you mix Cannibal Corpse and Aphex Twin... and Sesame Street all together.
But just, it's nonstop. But like when it gets into it, you're just into it. So it's like...
He sent it
crazy.
to me, and you know how
I love it.
On the iPhone at least, you can hit like if someone sends you a YouTube link, you can watch it in the chat, or you can actually go to YouTube. I hit it, and I'm like, my phone's fucked up. There's something going on. So then I hit over to the YouTube channel, like, a few hours later, I'm like, all right, let me actually listen to this. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, something's fucked up on my phone. So then I went on my computer, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, wait a fucking... I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this song? And I listened for like 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, this is just the song. And at the end of it, I said to Zach before I even listened to it, and it held true. I wish I could waterboard myself after hearing that. It is fucking... man,
I like it.
It's entertaining, but one time was probably enough. It's like human centipede. It's the human centipede of music.
It is.
It was good the one time. Now I can tell people for forever that I saw it. Yeah. I don't need to rewatch it or really listen to it.
You didn't watch the latest one where it's a prison?
I just assume they're sewing asses to mouths, and that's all I need.
It's
not like Cube, movie, where I want to see how they cut people into different little cubes in a different way.
That series is so underrated.
Those are
Cube
phenomenal.
Cube so good, dude. It's so shitty at times.
It's so fucking bad.
But it's so good.
And it led to Saw. Saw would not exist if those movies didn't happen because they went, hey, how can we make a movie in one?
And this band probably wouldn't exist without that.
Probably.
Staple Tapeworms to My Penis.
Yeah, that's a Saw theme song right there. All right, so since we do not have a featured guest, and again, if you would like to be featured, just send us your music, km.won'tshutup@gmail.com.
Or just come over and play a live show in the house.
Play a live show right here in the house. We'll do it. Not joking, we'll do it. Justin, you decided to pick a song of ours that we've done. Now, since the beginning of this season, which now, again, episode 16, we've written 16 full-length original songs.
Yes.
3 of which are over 7-8 minutes long, maybe even 4.
I think it's 4 with this one.
2 Christmas songs thrown in there.
Yes.
And so 14 non-holiday songs, really.
But you can listen to at least one of them.
Oh, yeah. Both of them you can listen all year long. Bitchin' Christmas is good in the middle of July.
It is.
And the other one, the fucking
Satan
Grinch,
Baby.
Satan Baby, that's good in May as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can listen to it all year long as well.
Yeah.
But you decided to go back and pick out. Would you say this is your favorite song of ours? So far, we have not listened to the song from tonight, so we can't pass full judgment.
True.
So of 1 to 15, this is the one that sticks out for you.
Yes.
All right, and we're gonna probably do this if we have a week where we are not having a featured artist. We're probably gonna be bringing up songs of ours from the past and kind of doing a favorite,
like a dissection of them too. Like looking, like I never go back and listen to these songs.
I listen to a lot of them.
Zach doesn't listen to any of them.
I don't go back and listen to any of this show.
I listen to all of them the following week, and I listen to them relentlessly for most of that week. And
I'll listen to the song a few more times.
And then, when I'm listening to the show, I'll listen to the song mostly on, I'll keep going back to it. I'll show different people, if I'm at the bar, if I'm just like wherever, like, hey, this is what we did this week. But after that, I don't really look back and listen or think back on them too much. Once in a while, I'll have a lyric stuck in my head, and I'm like, what the fuck is that from? And I Google it, and it doesn't exist anywhere. And then I have to go into my notes and just search it in my notes, and then it shows up, and I'm like, all right, that was a really bad lyric. I'm glad it was me. So this song, which song are you choosing to have featured this week?
From episode 6.
Episode 6.
It's Overestimated. It's the one that we were writing to like a response to Grimes about AI.
Okay. Now, did we have a guest this episode? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
You do not remember?
If this was a guest episode.
All right. Now,
episode 6. I don't know.
Yeah, we might have had a guest. We'll look into that while we're listening to the song. But all right, why is this the one that you remember the most? Because honestly, you brought it up before. You said the name of it. Mm-hmm. You said what we were talking about. I have zero recollection about this song. I do not.
It's such a weird song, but the way it's mixed, like Zach, you killed it on the mix, and just the way the song feels and came together.
Okay.
That's why I think it's the most complete so far out of the season.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, why don't we jump right into that? Let's jump into our first break here. We are going to be, what is underestimated? Overestimated. And was the episode called Underestimated?
I think so.
I think we did that. I think we swapped it. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Let's look. I'll look up and see who was on that week. Okay. So this is our song. This is the Brunch Week 6 original song.
Yep.
Brunch with Kyle. We will be back. How long is this one? Is this a longer one?
I think at least 6 minutes.
6 minutes? Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys. So enjoy the first of 2 brunch songs this week.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye. Time. Be kind to yourself. Take time for yourself. God knows the AI won't pay no mind. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before the spots bring on the eternal cloudy night. Soak up the rays, soak in the light. Soak up the rays, soak in the light. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. The sun goes to color, remember the hue. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. With the sun goes to color, remember the hue. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. Right. The overlords won't take the time to keep you sane. Body and mind, the internet is seeping into your head. Soon we'll be one, happy and plugged in.
inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. Right. 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 Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. All right, so yeah, that was episode 6.
Yes.
We had Nick Dario and Kevin Sessions on that week.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, we Zach, you were really jocking the grime song that week.
Yeah.
You were really jocking. What was it? What was the name of that song? Do you remember?
We Appreciate Power.
We Appreciate Power, and it was her kind of just like a very tongue-in-cheek song, and you were very, very adamant about I don't know, I think it was like a kind of a rebuttal to it, you said, right? Like it was kind of like we were going to write in the same vein, but when you and I started talking about the lyrics on that, it was like, you know, the AI doesn't care about you. The AI is going to basically just chew you up and spit you out and not ask any questions.
Yeah, it was like her song, but without any of the tongue-in-cheekness.
Yeah, okay. So
it's definitely just as poppy.
I was going to say...
Well, yeah, it's still a pop format.
Yeah. I did not remember, like, up until it hit with the hook, that auto-tune part. I mean, mainly because it was something I just shouted into the microphone and then walked away, and then Zach edited into it. But now that will be once again stuck in my head, I think, for the
just
next
that
week
melody,
or so.
Man.
Depending on how this next song is. The next song might get...
True.
The next song might immediately
how's
replace
this
it.
beer, though?
Now, let's talk about the beer real quick. Let's talk about the beer. Now, we, as our fans and listeners will know, we like to drink the finest of ales, the finest of brews, the finest of lagers. And tonight, we are going with a local, underrated favorite, I'll say, Sir Lord Chesterfield Ale.
It tastes like it's been left in a vault for 22
178 years.
Yeah.
How long Yingling has been making this
like
fucking
the
beer.
Smell,
that's when
the
they
smell
made all
of
of this beer.
The smell of walking down in like a dungeon is what this flavor tastes like, sort of.
Oh, yeah, that is...
Tastes like Skyrim, really.
It tastes like a lot of quarters are in my mouth, and you're having me drink seltzer. That's kind of what it tastes like.
Tastes like money, then.
It tastes like
that
money.
Tastes like money.
Lord Chesterfield, when you want to taste like nickels.
It's like when somebody passes you the rolled up dollar, but it's a real dirty dollar. It's the one that's just changed a lot of hands.
Yeah.
And you still stick that in your nose.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. So, have either of you really drank this in the past?
No.
Have you ever had it?
I don't think I've ever had it.
I've had it, but I've never...
I've had it. I was at a bar in, I think I was in Scranton, and they had it on tap. I think it was either Scranton or somewhere else kind of from here to there, and they had like 6 of the Yingling options on tap, and this was one of them. And I got it, and I remember thinking, oh, this is kind of like a bad pale ale. Like, it's just Lord Chesterfield. It's not really pale. It's not pale. Like, pale is...
Right.
I don't know. This pales in comparison to... You know, it tastes... it's not really stinky or gross in that way. It tastes old.
Yeah.
It tastes like it's been sitting in this can. And before that, it was
when
an
I look
oil
at the
can.
picture on this can, I immediately am like, this tastes old.
It says since 1829, Lord Chesterfield since 1829.
That's what I'm saying. Since then, this beer has been waiting for you to drink it. They made all of it. They made all of the Lord Chesterfield in 1829, and they've been slowly getting rid of it to all of us schmucks.
It's bad.
Or it's just the Yingling like premium that like went sour, and they went just put it in something else.
Is it extra gold?
I think extra gold's better than this.
No,
I think extra gold's definitely better than this.
We're gonna have to fucking try. We're gonna have
taste
to figure
test
that
a
one.
bad beer taste test.
Why would we
that's
taste
all we
bad
do.
beer? Oh Lord. All right, so our second song that we're going to be playing tonight is our weekly original for this week. So this is for episode 16 specifically. Zach, do we have a name for this song?
Yeah.
Did you name it? What did we go with this week?
Let Justin read it because I can't remember.
You can't remember. It's a good title.
Feels like the shaft might fall out.
Feels like the shaft might fall out.
Yep.
Any reason that that's the title of this song?
Nope.
Nope. All right, because lyrically, it doesn't really go at all.
I started writing this at like noon.
Yeah,
today,
this is much more of an undertaking than we usually have time for. Zach, you said you started writing it around noon. You told me at one point that you pretty much had everything ready to go for everything, but the drums and the vocals needed to be added to it, and that was somewhere around like 3-4 o'clock. So what was the driving force behind you writing this song this week? What style, what band influenced it? What were your thoughts?
We talked about doing a song about the end of winter.
Yes.
Because the next show, we're taking a break. The next show will be back. It'll officially be spring.
It will be 5 days into spring.
And I really enjoyed all the winter-themed songs we wrote this year.
Yeah.
Especially the death metal one. So I wanted to have some of that and some other stuff. And just go for a real long, epic.
Hell yeah.
And then you said, what did I say? You're like, anything I should like think about? And I said Skyrim.
You said Skyrim. You said
because
death
I
metal.
started a new Skyrim character.
Yes, you did.
Another new Skyrim character.
How many is that in the last 2 weeks have you started?
No, I just one.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I mean, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of I like to role play my characters, pick. And just do the things that would make sense for their race and their status and their. I love Skyrim. Not running out
murdering every single thing.
Yeah, I've played so much of it that when I play, I'm particular. So I I know what quests I want to do. Even if it's gonna be short, I make this character just it's Skyrim. I could talk about it forever.
Sure.
But the music in Skyrim, if you've never played it, is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
You said
it's on such an epic scale.
Is very underrated. Games that don't have a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
End up being shit,
you drop out of it.
Yeah.
It's like a good movie soundtrack. You have to.
It really does.
Skyrim.
Be pulled
the Souls games have incredible soundtracks. It just makes a game feel that much more intimate and it makes your adventure seem like more of an adventure, you know?
I mean, I made the comment every time on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As soon as you would start swinging, the theme music would come in. And it's all right, I feel like I'm a part of the movie or the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
It just immerses you so much.
The other thing that's in a lot of the Skyrim music is there's bards that will just sing one song on a lute.
Yep.
So I looked up the chords, how to play some of these lute songs from the game, and then I based my chord patterns around the chords that they were using for that.
Right.
So while it doesn't sound like it, it's I sort of.
So what you're saying is that this is a bard rock song?
It could be bard rock. Yeah.
This is bard rock. You ever go to the Bard Rock Cafe?
But after about 5 minutes in, I just wanted to do something different. So, there's 4 different bridges.
Yes. You told me to go, Kyle. There are 3 or 4 verses. 4 verses. There's 2 different choruses, 1 short, 1 extended, and 4 bridges. And I was like, I'll just write a lot about how cold it is outside, and just wrote.
And I'm glad I think we did good.
I think it definitely is. Well, when me and Justin, when we showed up and we got to, I mean, you were here when he started writing it.
Right.
But when we got to sit down and start contributing, Justin, what was the approach for the drums for you?
I don't know. I think you had programmed drums, so
I had one beat program that I looped throughout. It gets you more on time than playing to the click sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's like having the click, but with a bass drum and a snare drum.
Yeah.
So I had the most basic 3/4 beat. You know what I mean? It's just like boom, ka, boom, ka.
Yeah. I think I was more worried about making sure I was good with the 3/4.
Okay.
And simplifying what I was playing, but just making sure it all was correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you got to fucking have some epic parts to it as well.
Oh yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there was one moment where I was like, just Pink Floyd it. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like that. Like
because there's I don't know, was it like a little? It wasn't a guitar trill. It was just like some little additive thing that he had thrown into the song.
That fucking
little
that sample is.
Yeah, like a little Casio trill or something.
Not sample, but the fucking MIDI.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the saxophone program,
dude. The saxophone.
But you twist the knobs different, and you put it in a certain octave, and you get that crazy ass string sound.
Yeah,
it's like a bad It's not a great saxophone simulator.
Yeah,
but if you do it for the wrong thing, it's a really cool string simulator.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, the way that bounces and the pauses, you know what I mean? It definitely has
it has movement to it the way a saxophone does. Like when you blow, it's like boo.
Yeah,
like all the strings will do that, so like it gets this.
Fuck it.
I really like that.
Now, you said originally we're looking at like Opeth was the original kind of influencer.
Like later Opeth, where they don't growl anymore.
Yeah, and then there are parts that you said in a text to me had like a gypsy feel, parts that sound kind of like country. Mm-hmm. It is definitely an all over the place song. Sure. We clocked in, you said, over 11 minutes.
11 minutes and 7 seconds,
minutes
I believe.
And 7 seconds. Lyrically, this song is pretty much, like we said, it's about winter coming to an end, but then in the gloomy way that you have to look at things in the real world, it's going to be back before you can even think about it, all right?
Yeah.
So that is kind of where we went with the vocals.
I'm really glad that we all did vocals.
We all did, yeah.
Everyone's part, I think, came out good.
Harmonies. There's one part, Justin, you did just kind of like a steady underlying like bass vocal part, and it works perfectly with the actual bass guitar like running up the neck.
Yeah, more like humming. Yeah. That's what I was approaching.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of like a hum sound, and it adds. It's the part that I said if I was just walking around or driving around, that would be the part that I would be listening or singing to as I'm listening around because. On a low level, I can go,
exactly.
I'm not going to be walking around going,
it's more natural. It's just
Zach
a natural,
which was
steady.
epic as hell as well. Yeah. All right, so once again, what is the title of this song?
Feels like the shaft might fall out.
And it totally does.
Yeah.
It totally does. So without any more delay, let's jump into our Brunch Weekly original single. Feels like the shaft might fall out.
You gotta put up that artwork because it's good.
By Bardrock Obama.
Yeah, Bardrock Obama. Yeah, he would like that. He would like this. There's a lot of pauses in it, so that's kind of his style, Yeah. All right, so we're gonna throw up the artwork that Zach put together as well. Yeah. So if you're listening on YouTube, you can check that out, and if you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher in the future, go on YouTube and check it out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in about 10 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Is that the real ending?
That's the real ending.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That, I mean, I don't know if you said it, I think you said it while we were listening to the song, Zach. This is the song that the last, like, 3 weeks I've definitely been trying to figure out.
Yeah.
A certain voice.
Yeah.
And the thing that I didn't go into before that was kind of crucial to that sound and the tone, Zach said, Opeth, he said a specific song. I forget what the song title was.
I don't remember.
But
it's from Heritage.
It's the second track off of Heritage, and I looked up a live taping of it, and I just watched the singer, and I was trying to find a video that you could actually watch him, like, physically, like, you know, up close sing. And I noticed he keeps his lips very tight when he sings, and he, like, strained his neck a lot. So I was walking around the house this afternoon, and I'm just, like, listening to the song and just kind of, like, projecting, you know, like, the top of my register, the lowest end of my register, just, like, in that, like, because he restrains himself, and in that way, he gets an operatic noise without having a lot of vibrato, without having much any pitch change at all. Like, he kind of just hits the note and holds it there. So yeah, this song was kind of the culmination of a couple of weeks, and I feel like, honestly, it's the culmination of the first 15 weeks of songs. For the most part, we did a lot of different things, but for a good chunk of it, we were kind of going on the heavier, the darker, the feelings of winter, you know, as it may be. Because I'm sure once spring turns around, because, Zach, when you were texting me...
It's going to be instantly happier, faster.
Yeah, it's going to be happier music.
Well, when I listen
we're going to be writing fucking,
you know,
we're going to be listening to, like, Walking on Sunshine, so we're going to want to write some fun, like, happy, upbeat shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it's going to change. So I think that this is a really good bookend to spring. Now, granted, we're coming back in, 2-3 weeks. I think 3 weeks from today, we'll take 2 full weeks off in between. So that's going to be the 26th, I think. And that means that that's still March. We could still be freezing. But it will technically be spring.
Yes.
It will technically be spring. So, I don't know. I mean, you guys have anything else about the song? Because, I mean, I think...
the last couple weeks songs I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I think that...
I felt like they were rushed. I mean, I liked them, but I feel like we didn't
feel forced at a certain point. Yes.
But there was like a... And then, when I think about it, it's like... Sometimes it's not about us writing a good song for the people. Sorry. It's about us, like...
enjoying the writing process.
It's practice for us.
Yeah.
So those couple that I didn't really think we nailed, this week, like, it puts all those out of my mind.
100%.
Like, I'm like, weird. I'm like, what is...
This is a
like,
great
what is
song.
going on that we, like, didn't get those certain parts?
Yeah.
But then this week we got some of the stuff we've been working on.
You put in a little bit more time than you usually do. Yes. Usually we start about 5-6 o'clock, and in 3-4 hours,
but I feel like
everything's done.
Even if we started at 5 o'clock,
tonight,
if you had that riff in mind, or riff in mind,
Riften? Are we talking about Skyrim again?
If you had that riff in mind, it could have been fucking shorter, but just as good.
Yeah. But I think it's,
you know what I mean?
Fucking primo. I think that might be the best song.
I think so.
Besides, I still have to hold. I think "Bitchin' Christmas" and "Satan Baby" are uniquely different.
Yes,
because they are for Christmas.
I'm not including those in. Those are specific songs.
Yeah, those are specific.
I think "Bitchin' Christmas" is a great.
It's
a great song.
So fucking. The other one's just going to be fun to play. 2 people in the future, but "Bitchin' Christmas" is a song.
I think out of all the ones, I want to go back and redo "Bitchin' Christmas" and make it better because I think it's so good.
Well, we're gonna have to redo it in like August so we can release it in like September, October to get it ready for the Christmas season.
Yes.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do it right and like put it out as a single. Get Mark in here, do the bass again.
Oh fuck yeah! Release it on a 45. Yeah, we can do that.
Cassette tape.
A 45 with Satan Baby on the other side. Yeah, if you would like a 45 of this. All right, now something we didn't get into before that I kind of had an not an epiphany, but like a weird thought, kind of a little lightning bug struck my brain type of moment.
Lightning bug struck your brain?
Yeah, it's from Hook. You'd get it.
Fuck Robin Williams.
Yeah, so you'd get it if you didn't hate one of the greatest people ever. But what I was at the bar, and on the TV is generally on the one corner TV. I leave it on BBC because you get Planet Earth, and then you get X-Files, and then you get some Doctor Who. Yeah, on the BBC America, yeah. And then you also get a lot of Next Gen.
Okay.
Now, in addition to Next Gen, you do get Voyager, Deep Space Nine, a couple other, iterations. But for the majority, you get Star Trek Next Generation. So what was on the TV that I was looking was Voyager.
Right.
And I was thinking the one character of the Doctor Who... Zach, you know a little bit more about this than me, maybe. What was the character of the Doctor?
The Doctor on Voyager is he's like an AI, artificial intelligence. He was originally, I believe, like some sort of hologram on DS9.
All right.
That they were like gonna replace the Doctor with, and it was like a training, like to see if people could deal with having like a doctor that wasn't a real person, that was a computer,
but visibly looks like a
looks
human.
like a human.
He's not Data. He's not.
He's designed to resemble a human, but he's not. And then they end up bringing that program onto Voyager.
Okay.
When Voyager gets stuck in the Gamma Quadrant.
So knowing now that he is AI, this changes a little bit on his inclusion in my theory, but still, the fact that they opted to make him a balding man, he has a horseshoe.
Yes.
And the fact that Captain Jean-Luc Picard is
did they make
bald as fuck?
Bald man.
I mean, is that just because most doctors are bald?
I don't know. Maybe it makes him feel more human because he has imperfections. That's probably kind of where they're leaning there.
Yeah.
In the world of Star Trek, in that universe where they have things that can fix your bones that are broken, where they can scan your body and find everything with you. Yeah, they just hold a fucking old Motorola fucking razor phone up to your ankle, and your ankle goes from broken to being totally repaired.
Yeah.
They have not fixed male pattern baldness. In the future, male pattern baldness does not need to be fixed, apparently. And it just kind of struck me, and I thought it was odd, and I wanted to know your opinions of it. Do you think that male pattern baldness is just something that people in the future have gotten over, and the idea of the vanity of needing to not be bald, people wearing wigs and stuff like that? Do you think they've gotten past that, or do you think there's just no cure for it, and Rogain's full of shit, all the other ones are full of shit, and then at some point they just go, fuck it, we go bald, and that's what happens?
I feel like it's still an inside joke to people, so they're just like, we got too much time to worry about like fixing that shit. We're in space. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. So it's just not. It's a non.
No, I think if you look at, the Federation is still sort of a military.
At that point, you'd be fucking with genetics. So, you know what I mean? You would have to.
It is a military, but then you'd have to look.
You would have to assume at that point that the human race is good with.
Yeah.
Other than the women,
and shit.
Yeah, I was saying other than the women,
hair.
People don't have long hair. I was gonna say Whoopi Goldberg has a lot of hair on
Well,
that
she's
show.
not human.
Yeah, but I'm saying, would that ruling be across all species, or would they have species specific?
Who the fuck knows?
Grooming regulations.
Who knows? Maybe certain species don't have baldness.
True, but you got to look at what number 2 on
or maybe
Next
because
Gen
it is
has
a
beard that he doesn't have a beard. There's no regulation on his beard.
Riker,
yeah, Riker. He's got a beard that he doesn't have a beard.
Maybe it's just up to the person. If he was in the military and he used to shaving his head, who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
man?
I don't know, but it's just weird.
I think Picard looks like
he would look weird with
hair.
He
looks well. I mean, he's been bald since he was in his since he was a teenager.
I mean, with hair, that guy would look like James McAvoy.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he would.
But it's like I don't. Maybe they did fix it, but Picard chose.
He's such a man.
Like he
doesn't fucking like fuck you.
When you look at like the episodes about his family,
are you fucking kidding me?
Like, you remember all the episodes about his family? Like, he's from France, and they're like they're like have a vineyard or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? There was like working with your hands stuff. Maybe like the way he was raised, it was just like I don't want to not be natural. Like, this is who I am.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The one
and it gives him like an air of like like he's been there, done it all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And it's just more human, and
it would make
sense.
Flashbacks or like he's just
But it would make sense in the future in a world where we have interacted with all of the species in the galaxy that you would want to cling on to your heritage in that way.
Maybe it's just a strategic thing, dude.
You would want to cling on to your heritage. Yeah. And thank you.
Maybe it's just a strategic maneuver.
Yeah.
If you're going to a planet, you have no idea what's there.
Do you think
Fuck having hair.
He was just like, I'm going to be a Borg one day, motherfucker. Yeah, I don't need no hair. I'm going to be a Borg. It could have been. It could have been. All right, so the title of this week's episode. Let's get to this. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna have to open up about some beef.
A world first on this show.
All right. So usually we have titles. We don't discuss why we have the titles.
Yeah.
We don't know generally why they are what they are.
I forget sometimes why.
Usually it's me and you sitting here 5 minutes before we go live, and you go, hey, what's this week's title?
Yeah.
And I go, Swimmy, Swammy, Swami, Swan, Samsonite, way off. I don't know. I have no idea. And then one of us will say something, or if we have a guest, sometimes they will influence it. Zach will walk by. Anybody can influence why it is called what it is called.
I like how I'm not the guy who was allowed to make the titles, but I'm also not a guest.
You're not a guest. You're not. But this week's episode title is Mythical Mourning.
Yeah.
Mourning, Mourning. And this is, I gotta say, guys, in no sarcasm, 100% seriousness here, we're starting a war.
Okay.
We didn't start it. We're recognizing the war that was started unknowingly against us, all right? The opponent doesn't know that they've started this, they don't know. It's kind of like the British don't know we're about to throw all their tea.
They probably won't ever know.
They will never,
won't
ever
stoop
know.
to our level.
No.
They won't, and I can appreciate that and respect them for ignoring us for forever. But
I don't know. I think we got the views.
There are upwards of 7. We'll get them. They've got upwards of 7 million per hour. We've got upwards of 7 all. Our two things that we have established, I believe, firmly on this show.
Right.
One is we are Hampians.
Yeah, totally.
We are Hampians.
Yes.
We are...
I got a case of hams over there, man.
There's a case of hams right there. Hams is one of the greatest beers ever brewed. One of the best light beers you can drink.
Yeah.
And since before...
Ask Bruce, you got the ham, motherfucker,
weeks,
that's a new hook.
We have been drinking this beer before for a long time. I drank it when I lived in Philly.
For years now.
It's been years and years, and we have on the show previously discussed how great Hams is.
Yes.
It has won or come in second place on our initial beer taste test, our warm beer taste test.
Yes.
It is great. It is phenomenal.
It's a beer you should buy and just fucking enjoy.
It is.
Yes.
It is great.
That's
it's good in the winter.
It's a beer you can buy and just
It's a beer you can buy and drink and like. Buy, drink, like.
Not like Lord. I'm on my second Lord Chesterfield.
Yeah, not Lord Chesterfield. Oh, I keep going back to it.
He's the Lord of the fucking golden thing. Dungeon, dude.
This is just like anti-heartburn medication. It's like, do you need heartburn? Lord Chesterfield Ale will give you heartburn instantaneously. Okay, so hams. Hams is something that we've long established that we are big Hampians of. The other thing that more recently, I'll say in the last few months,
sort of,
we have started to drink kind of fairly regularly, and I have one right here.
In the last years, I've been drinking.
Well, I'm saying on the show specifically.
Yeah. Yes.
We've been drinking Faygo.
Yes.
Because it has become available in the local Weiss markets.
Yes.
And since that, we brought it on. We've discussed it. And we haven't done any official taste tests with it itself. But we were probably going to get there,
Yeah.
We were probably.
Sure.
So now, in last week, within 2 days, back-to-back days of each other.
No, it was...
One day?
Yeah, it was regular and more.
Oh, so it was in one day. In Good Mythical Morning.
Yes.
Which
if you don't watch, you should watch.
You should watch it.
It's the best YouTube show.
It is replacing
you
the
have
need
enough
to watch
episodes at this point too to go back to, and
that's how when I got into it.
You went back and watched every Willet, everything that they did.
Yeah. The last 2 seasons have gotten weird, but
they've gotten great weird.
It's gotten dirtier.
You know what? I'm going to be a little bit more confident than Zach. I think we can get their attention, and I think they'll enjoy our weirdness as well.
Maybe.
Because
I love them. I really do.
think they would also think that it is so beautiful, Daddy.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful, Daddy.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, that is
so last week in one day, they had a taste test of sorts where they were comparing the name brand to the knockoff.
Yes.
So my first gripe with the show is Hamm's is in no way a knockoff of Budweiser, in my opinion.
No, definitely
It is
not.
a knockoff of PBR, which they do admit to on the show that it is kind of an offshoot of PBR.
Yes.
But it is in no way a knockoff of Budweiser. But what I will give respect to is they all liked Hamm's the best.
They did.
And I think they might have even thought it was Budweiser.
Red thought it was Budweiser because he thought it was the best beer.
Tasting beer. And you can and the pour had a little bit of actual head on it and everything. Yep. And then in Good Mythical More, they taste colas, I believe, is what they do, and they taste.
No, that's all in the first.
Oh, that's in the first one.
So they do a cola taste. They do,
and they introduce Faygo into the cola taste.
Yeah, for looking for Coca-Cola, they did.
So looking for Coca-Cola. Also, again, gonna say. Not technically a knockoff of Coca-Cola, seeing that cola is probably like the 8th flavor they decide to make in the company.
I mean, I feel like out of any
Shasta was right on with being a knockoff.
Coca-Cola up against anything else, and I can pick it out of
any
other flavor.
You think it until you're in the situation.
But on More, they did a full taste test of a bunch of the Faygo flavors.
Yeah, they tasted...
and really talked about Faygo and the history of Faygo.
Yeah, and they went into it. And what I gotta say, and what we're establishing right now is... stop jocking our shit, guys.
For real, dude.
Seriously, we are trying to cultivate here
Hamm's and Faygo are
Hamm's and Faygo are our thing.
If you want to join in on it, just
you can join in on it, but I mean, if you're not going to join in on it, this is going to get nasty, guys. I mean, because here's my idea. If you don't stop, I mean, what's next? What are they going to start writing songs? They already do that, actually.
They do.
What are you gonna start doing? Other things that we already do? You're gonna start eating jerky and stuff. I don't know, what the fuck do we do? Are you gonna just start rambling on and on about things? What are you gonna do, guys? You're gonna steal our rambling nonsense?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. You guys, we can be friends.
About cock rings.
Cock rings. Yeah, you gonna steal cock rings? You steal cock rings from us? Thank you, Justin. I knew we had something. I knew we did something on this show. Besides write songs and drink beer and Faygo.
Yeah.
Cock rings. Cock rings. What, are you going to steal the cinder in? You're going to steal the cinder from us? Actually, if you do, I'd probably get a raise so you could steal the cinder in. But hey, what I'm saying
Kyle out.
is what I'm going to do now is if they start stealing more things from it, if they go after Hamm's again, did your lighter just break in your hand? That is a good crack lighter right there. That's a good free
lighter.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, is it still working? No. Oh my God. Don't throw an explosive lighter at me.
Up, but just check it out.
Fucking crazy person.
The spring fucking broke off of it.
Jesus.
Oh, the flint is gone.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good lighter. This one still works, but it's mine.
I don't know.
You can do that, though.
You can do that, though. And you can probably still make it explode on the street.
You
probably could. But here's what I'm saying, guys. Back to the point. I am going to make a willet. We're going to will it.
Right.
If they bring up Hamm's again, if they go hard on Faygo
again. If there's another one.
If they even mention Hamm's, I'm going to love them, and then I'm going to do a will it. And this is what I'm saying we do, all right?
Yeah.
This is my idea for our first will it.
Okay.
Will it dildo. Will
Jesus
it
Christ, dude.
dildo. Jesus, that won't dildo. Zach just lit the broken crack lighter on fire. And I want to say a spark.
Oh, it's like,
that, dude.
Oh, don't do that again,
dude.
Don't do it. It's melting. No. Oh, Lord.
Get rid of that
It is like
thing,
an 8-inch flame, and Zach just keeps lighting it right next to his balls. He's going to lose his balls. All right, but will it dildo? Will it dildo? This is what we're going to go for, all right? I'm thinking of different objects that we could will it dildo, and we're going to test them all in studio, all right? We're going to have a tester. So if you would like to volunteer to be our tester for Will It Dildo, Preston probably doesn't want to do it.
Good Mythical Morning mixed with the Howard Stern show?
Yes. It's something along those lines.
Is that where the morning part comes from?
Can that be our new biography?
Our new biography.
Do you love GMM and Howard Stern?
Do you like watching people experiment with things in other people's buttholes? Then watch Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. We're all about experimenting in other people's buttholes, not ours. I think that's a plug right there that we can use.
I think
we can get it on. Maybe? I think it's a butt plug we could use. It could probably be on a cock ring too. You can press a button and it'll just say it. But I think we get that on the radio. I think they would accept that.
Butt plug your business.
Butt plug your business,
and we'll put an advertisement on it.
You got a business card? Make it a butt plug. You got a business card? Why isn't it in somebody's ass? You know, the last time I looked in somebody's ass, it didn't tell me shit.
I'm popping out butt plugs all the time.
But if it had a butt plug with your business on it, I know where to get froyo. Or find a good lawyer. Or just know someone who can fix my shoes.
You pop it out, it says green tea.
The DUI guys in everybody's ass. Call Paul Arrow, the DUI guy. Actually, don't. I did that, and I went there, and I met him for my second DUI. Cocksucker. Cocksucker is what I said to somebody else.
So I'm gonna get a butt plug that says DUI. Don't call Paul Arrow.
Yeah. Aim at somebody else, not Arrow. All right. So that's why we're waging war on Good Mythical Morning. So that's the name. That's the reason for the title.
I'm still going to watch every episode.
I'm going to watch every single episode.
I love that
I'm going to love every single episode, and I'm going to think every single episode is perfect. But from now on, we are at war with them.
Do they have a spy? One of their 4,000 people on staff.
Yeah, one of their 40,000 people probably knows one of us. Zach or me might have known them years ago when we lived in Los Angeles, and maybe they're watching. You never know, man. You never know. Maybe they were one of my employees a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and they hate me, and they're watching, and they just want to tear me to shreds. I think that we can get into this Kyle Spiracy. I think it's a legitimate one. You have spies. You're looking at us, and you're watching us. And you want to take all of our original bullshit. And you know what? Hire us. We'll gladly give it to you. We will gladly give it to you.
Sure.
All right. Well, hey, this has been a really fucking great episode this week, guys. Especially for an episode that we did not think was going to happen. I highly recommend going back in an hour or so if you're listening live, and if you're listening in the future right now, and re-listen to that fucking song because it is epic as all hell. And then if you want to dance around in your house, listen to the first song, around 30 minutes in. Epic song. Again, if you are a artist or a musician of any sort and you would like to submit your music to be featured here on Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up.
Or if you know people that don't want to do it, push them to do it.
Push them to do it. And also, again, you can come here and just hang out with us and write music.
Like the shit that you've worked for months on perfecting, it's definitely better than the shit we did in a few hours.
Probably.
So put
maybe.
Put your music on our show.
It could be worse. But it's probably better. I want to encourage you. So it's probably better. I might have different thoughts in private, but it's probably better.
That's not how you get people to help out, Kyle.
I'm just an honest motherfucker. You know what?
Okay, he's an honest motherfucker.
I'm just an honest
HMF, dog. HMF.
I'm an HMF. That's what it says on my belt buckle. It doesn't actually say that. It doesn't.
Hungry motherfucker.
It doesn't say it. It says hungry motherfucker. It says hungry hippo, actually. It's just a Triple H belt buckle.
Hungry
Everyone thinks
hippos.
it's for wrestling. It's just for hungry hippos. I like eating little beads, little white balls. That's my favorite thing.
You love eating white balls.
I love white balls. But yeah, if you're a musician, km.won'tshutup@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. Also on Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, we don't really use that. It's a dying art form. It's like the print media. It doesn't really need to exist anymore. If I want to put up away messages, I'll just go to AOL.
Dude. I've never used Twitter.
Twitter? It's
never
AOL.
Made sense
It's AOL away messages that the world can see for forever. That's all it is.
I have enough problems when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I don't want to see most people's shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can, I don't know. I like Twitter for some reasons, and I hate Twitter for most reasons. Mostly I hate Twitter because I don't remember about it, and then it's just the thing that's sitting there reminding me that I'm not as active on social media as I should be. And then I actually feel better about that because I'm not as active on social media as I should be. But again, if you're an artist, send us your stuff. If you know an artist, make them send us their stuff. And if you're looking for other podcasts to check out, you can check out from moot.tv, The Wonderful White Wasabi, and Let Me Ask You a Question. Let Me Ask You a Question drops every single Monday, along with our show when we remember to send Eric the file to release it on time. 2 weeks in a row, we're going strong. We're going strong. But you know what the best thing to think of is?
What?
The best thing to think of is...
We've only missed one.
Oh, yeah, we only missed one. We got one day of, and the one next day got up. But either way, the best thing to think of is that after this week, there's 2 weeks that we are definitely not forgetting to send him anything, because we won't have anything. It's a good way to look at it.
We'll be off.
Yeah.
We're taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of a break. Justin, you're going on a little trip where you're going down to
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Charlie and Courtney.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm going and spending St. Patrick's Day weekend in Philadelphia. We didn't realize it was St. Patty's when we booked it, but it's going to be an awesome fucking weekend.
Fuck you.
And Zach, you're just going to be here?
Playing Skyrim, bro.
Playing Skyrim.
Maybe I'll live stream some Skyrim if I can figure that out.
Yeah, throw that up on the channel. Everybody can check that out.
I'm playing on PS4, but I'm sure there's a way to...
Share button, dude.
Just do it. Maybe we'll set that up and I'll just play. I'll play my current character.
Yeah, that'd be entertaining. That'd be entertaining for everybody.
Yeah.
Except me, because I don't know what the fuck Skyrim is. This is a video game we're talking about?
I feel like you would find so much cool shit.
No, he showed it to me.
Only the best video game ever made.
He showed it to me. It looks epic as all fuck. It does. All right, so again, check out the other shows from moot.tv. You can check a lot of stuff out on moot.tv and get a lot of swag and other things from the other podcasts. We will, at some point, have merchandise, and we are working on our website, so that's going to be coming to you.
It's definitely not going to be up until after we're back.
The way near future. So, once again, big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude.
And Mr. Zachary.
11 minutes and 7 seconds.
Stormin. Aw, that's cute. The song's as long as your average sex things. Your average sex things.
It's shorter than that.
No, you count masturbation in there, and it adds to the average, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Whenever someone's like, how long can you last? I'm like, you know what? With a person... Yeah. By myself, I get distracted. So the average is 8 minutes. Yeah. I got distracted for hours. All right, guys. We will see you in 3 weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in live and in the near future and distant future on iTunes and Stitcher. We'll see you.
Oh, I just realized I never changed the album cover.
Oh, you never changed it? It's just been that picture the whole time?
It's been on there the whole time.
Fuck yeah. Everyone deserves to see that. Everyone deserves to see it.
Fuck off.
We give way too much free advertisement for that Will Sabinsky guy.
That guy. When's he coming on the show?
I don't know. We haven't said his name in a while, so thank you, Will Sabinsky, for the artwork. So just once again, there you go. All right, guys. We'll see you shortly. And here's our weekly normal closing theme song to play us out.
Dickhead.
Oh,
yeah.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experiments.